Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is my short version of the animal card reading. I just did a 45-minute version, and I really invite you guys to watch that video because I go into a lot more in-depth about the energies and what's going on. But I just wanted to give you a short Cliff Notes version because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of free time or don't feel that they do in this now moment. And so I wanted to just kind of share with you the short version. And again, I invite you to watch the longer version because I do go into a lot more specifics. So thank you so much for tuning in today's animal, spirit, totem, Native American energy medicine card reading. And I think I got them all. But so without further ado, because I want to keep this short, in a nutshell, ironically, Squirrel is one of the cards that I pulled. I just wanted to start out the cards. The first two cards I pulled were what's going on with the energies, what are we missing as a collective. And of course, you guys, this is always my intention is to assist in raising the vibration and the frequency on Mother Earth with one another and just kind of share with you from my guidance system and from my perspective what's going on with the energies. And that's really all my intention is with any of my videos. And the cards that I pulled with this, what we're missing were Armadillo and Whale. They were both upside down. And again, I'll go into more details. I did go into more details in the other video on that. But essentially, we're missing the bigger picture of the fact that our DNA is changing. Whales have to do with DNA, which I'm not going to go into that too much. But setting our boundaries, overstepping our boundaries, or not having enough boundaries. That's kind of that balance that we're maybe missing right now, lacking. Again, I made reference in the other video about that neighbor that comes over. Your neighbor comes over all the time, uninvited, and just shows up for dinner. And you let them. So again, there's that boundary of, do I put my foot down? That's what we're being invited to do, but some of us are still missing it. Also, if somebody is expressing their opinion and their judgment with you, are you setting your boundaries and saying that's not something I want to discuss? You know, let's move on. Let's change the subject. So again, more details in the other video, but in a nutshell, detachment and objectivity, seeing things from a detached perception, meaning compassionate witness, not getting so involved and so reactionary. Is that a word? I'm not sure if it is. I just created it if it is. But not reacting so much to what's going on. Yes, have the emotion, feel the emotion, integrate the emotion, figure out where that emotion is coming from without reacting to every single thing that we're seeing, hearing, and experiencing. Because when we get sucked into that tornado of energy, right, it's hard to hear our inner guidance system. So that's something else that I pulled that was that we're missing is we're not listening for guidance. We're not listening in general. We're getting help. We are not receiving it as a collective. And I'm not saying you guys aren't. I'm just saying in general, because we're not listening. Everybody's busy reacting. Everybody's busy talking. Everybody's busy feeding into a tornado of energy. And they're not listening with their inner guidance system that is their inner sonar, hence whale. And so that's a big thing that's going on right now. I talked about bone and cartilage in my longer video, so I'll get into that, or you guys can watch that. There's stuff going on in our bones, stuff going on in our ears and our cartilage, having to do with the ascension cycle, ascension expansion, however you want to refer to it. We are evolving, and that's why a lot of people have a lot going on in the ears. But because of that, and we're also developing the ability to hear, with ears to hear, right? That, as we've heard in the Bible, those with ears to hear. But we're not hearing as a collective because we're not listening with our hearts. So, peace, empathy, and emotions. So, find the hidden to get to the root of the emotion. So that's what Armadillo is all about. Setting those boundaries, being empathetic, digging out going to the root of the problem, not just focusing on the problem. So that's kind of upside down. So that's kind of what's being balanced out right now that we're not finding balance in. Whale, those also both had to do with water, listening to the inner voice, seeing a common theme here. Record keeper, Akashic records and biorhythms. I talked about that in my other video, so if you want to go a little deeper down the rabbit hole, watch that one. But finding your truth, finding your voice, speaking from the truth, and not speaking from all the noise and outside clutter. And that leads me to the next card, which was, so again, that was Whale and Armadillo, what we're missing. The next card was should we be focusing on? Of course, other than all of this, right, is Squirrel, which was also upside down. Gathering our energy. So So focusing on gathering our energy rather than expending and sending out all of our energy. Are we scattered? Are we spending time on ourself, meaning higher self? Are we listening for guidance? Are we taking the time to stop, be playful, gather our energy, slow down so that we don't misplace our items? Because squirrels, they have a tendency to plant nuts all over and then they forget where half of them are, which is good because the trees and the animals benefit from that. But we're not benefiting from it if we're the squirrel, right? So gathering our energy and really kind of going with the flow a little bit more, adapting to change. So again, this was upside down. So a lot of these changes that are happening, people are as a collective, from what I'm seeing in the energy card reading, they're not adapting to it well. They're avoiding change. They don't want change. Or they're asking for something, they receive it, and then they go, I changed my mind, I don't want that, which is okay too. But again, slow down, gather the energy so that it's going in the right direction. And I talked about that in the longer video, the whales and their sonar, and the law of attraction. So watch that if you want to learn more on that. Slow down, pay attention, right? That's upside down. People aren't really paying attention to what's really going on. They're just getting sucked into the whirlwind of life. Overall energy was Weasel, okay, which is observe and listen, right? Again, listen, slow down, find your truth, go within, set your boundaries. So weasels talk about looking under the surface, seeing things for what they really are. Weasels get to the heart of the matter, just like Armadillo. They find the hidden. So a lot is being brought to the surface, but we're still not necessarily seeing the root of what's really going on or where these problems stem from. We're seeing a lot of the distractions, as I like to refer to it. So again, nothing is hidden. This is, again, the overall energy. Everything is going to come up. Everything is coming to the surface. Are we adapting to that? Are we allowing those changes to happen? Or are we seeing these new changes with an old perspective, old energy? It's difficult to change into something new if we're not allowing ourselves to be new, to rebirth, hence water, which is coming up a lot, and recognize that nothing is hidden. Everything will eventually end up coming to the surface, and that's kind of the theme for the whole month of October, November, December. Also, the energies had to do with ear. So again, what are we missing? Ear chakra, listening for guidance. So if we're too running around scattered energy and we're giving our energy to all these outside sources, we're not going to be able to hear our inner guidance system. We're not listening for it because we're busy kind of going out there and sending our energy into other places rather than coming from within and projecting that from our truth. Analyzing, the overall energy is stop, listen, analyze the situation before taking action. And so again, I analyze my feelings with love are some mantras that you might want to say. I have my thoughts come from love. If you're not having a loving thought, recognize it. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be playful about it. Slow down, pay attention, but also have fun with everything that's going on in our lives. Try and stop and smell the roses kind of thing. The other mantra was, I hear divine guidance easily and effortlessly. Because it is coming to us. A lot's going on with our ears. Lots of ringing in the ears. Lots of people are having jaw stuff. I've had a lot of clicking and all of that, which is ironic because whales, that's how they communicate, clicking. And then the next step is beautiful song. Squirrels, they click, and that's how they kind of communicate. And then they have a very vocal, right? So, again, the energies are, there's a lot of vocal going on because people have found their voice, which is beautiful. But where is that voice coming from? Is it coming from here, or is it coming from emotions that haven't really been, dealt with? And so we're being invited to kind of see things. Also recognizing and listening for guidance in all forms. We're not just getting it from one thing. We're getting it from everything. So being open, again, Libra, balance out those scales. Listen for it. Analyze it and recognize it before we move forward and take action. Gather our energy rather than wasting our energy. There's a lot going on. Again, if you want more information, you can watch the longer version. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this video in general. And I could go on and on because there's so many synchronicities going on. I just want to say that everybody wakes up at different stages, guys. Not everybody is going to wake up because they didn't choose to wake up. And we're here to honor everybody on their path, but to focus on this, our heart, coming from this space that we can create space for one another to ascend together in, and to assist Mother Earth in her ascension journey too, because it's not just about us, right? We're here on an alive planet. It's a planet with an energy. And so when we share from an open-hearted, non-judgmental, empathy space, from detachment, compassionate witness, it allows us to then make a clearer, precise decision. It allows us to come from the heart, and it allows us to hold space for one another from a higher vibration. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this again. Thank you so much. I encourage you to watch the longer video when you have some free time. It goes into a little bit more depth. Namaste, in love and light. Thank you so much.